Hey you guys, so this video will probably be a pretty short one. It is day 28 and there's quite a bit of time that's passed from our last video when I was either away at shows or just didn't film. So you can see we've made a lot of progress. This is Momo's first saddling and I've done a fair bit of work up to this point.
He's such a well-balanced horse.
So what I didn't record me doing was before we ever wore a saddle, we did a lot of work with desensitization with just the saddle pad. And before I ever girth them up, I like to get them used to the sensation of pressure around their barrel. So the way I'll do that is I'll have a lead rope around their barrel clipped to itself so you can tighten and release pressure at will. So what I do is I'll tighten that around their barrel and get them to move forward with it. And I really like doing it that way because then you can obviously release the pressure when they do well. And you can't really release the pressure on the barrel when you have a saddle or a surcingle on. So I've got the saddle on Momo and now I'm lunging him and I'm working on getting him to go forward with the saddle on. And he's actually being a very good boy. There was no bucking when I put the rope around his barrel. There was no bucking when I tried him in the surcingle. And I think he does a hop or two in this video. But honestly, he's very quiet for his first saddling. So there's a lot to get used to with just the saddle on his back and the stirrups flapping. And that's what I'm doing now. So I'm just flapping the stirrups because it makes quite a loud sound. And there's also the visual of the stirrup being in his eyeball in a little bit different spot. And he's honestly really good. I was super happy with this first saddling and all the work I've done up to this point. He's been a pretty quiet Mustang. And you can see I don't know if I shared any videos of him lunging before, but he can be a little bit sticky-footed and he's actually moving out quite nicely in this video. Now that I've flapped the stirrups a little bit, I'm just going to send him out on the lunge line and keep his little feet moving so he can get used to the sensation of the saddle on his back as he goes forward. He has very nice gaits. You can see he is the type that prefers standing over going. So he actually has quite good gaits. I was very impressed by his trot. It's pretty lofty and he's got quite a bit of action. So that was very nice to see. And our round pen, some horses can find it pretty difficult to canter in. And he's a big dude, so I honestly wasn't expecting him to be able to canter as well as he does. He's very balanced, especially considering he's only a 4-year-old. We also work on doing some changes of direction on the lunge line. When I first started teaching him to lunge, he did not want to go to the right, which again isn't super uncommon. A lot of Mustangs, a lot of stuff for them, especially in the corrals and the pens, is done on the left side. So they get a lot more used to seeing humans in their left eyeball. So when you go to lunge them to the right, obviously you're in the right eyeball. So they naturally want to stop and go to the left to get you back in the left eyeball, which they're a little more comfortable seeing you in. So I decided that was pretty good for his first time lunging with a saddle, so we'll end it there. And you can stay tuned and see what happens next.